Hi, my name is Beth Azor, and I own shopping centers in South Florida. And this is my podcast, I Own a Shopping Center, Now What? So today I want to speak about obstacles and how to overcome them when you own shopping centers. So for example, your leasing agent or you as the leasing agent has an elbow space. So first of all, don't buy shopping centers that have elbow spaces, but that will be a story for another time. But currently you own a shopping center and you have an elbow space that's in the corner with very limited visibility and parking, and you need to lease it because it's been vacant for a long time. A lot of retailers don't want the elbow space because of its lack of visibility and exposure and parking. So to speak to tenants that may be calling in off of signs saying, I'm interested in 3,000 square feet and I'm Panera Bread, talking to them about your elbow space is futile because they're never going to go in the corner with no visibility and exposure. So the way I like to handle obstacles is I want to talk to people that will not think it's an obstacle. What do I mean by that? I canvass or prospect people that are already in elbow spaces in shopping centers and other areas of town. So I drive around in my canvassing and I find tenants like daycares or MRI therapy centers or staffing agencies. Now, the lack of parking obviously will play into whether or not you could do a staffing agency, but most of them I think come and just pick up their assignments and their checks and they don't park all day. But that is something to take into consideration. And that goes into another scenario. If you have a space, for example, I have a space in my property. It's not in the elbow, but it's at the front of the shopping center where the entranceway comes in. And there are handicap spaces assigned right in front of this particular space. So this one space I have literally does not have any parking unless their clients are disabled people. So it's funny, recently I just put in a tenant that's an orthopedic shoe company, and they did not have a problem with the handicap spaces in front of their space because a lot of their customers have handicap parking stickers. So my point is whatever the obstacle is for most of your prospects, is it the elbow space with no visibility? Then tell your leasing agent to go find other tenants that don't have visibility and exposure. Sometimes I will prospect industrial parks, and I have found like embroidery companies in industrial parks that really don't need the big warehouse in the back, but it was cheap rent. And certainly we all know that the rent on the end cap is not the same rent as the elbow. So you should be able to offer lower rents for the elbow spaces. So what I do is I have an obstacle, no parking, no visibility, maybe rents are too high. So if I have a shopping center where my rents are too high, or what many prospects think my rents are too high, I make sure to go canvass areas where the rents are higher than mine. I'm certainly not going to go canvass areas where the rents are $10 cheaper than mine. Now, every once in a blue moon, you can find a tenant that maybe has 5 locations, and his first one was in an off-market area, maybe not as high income, and he got to pay lower rents, and it's like a diamond in the rough. And I don't shy away from those, and I definitely look for those. I don't stay away from those markets. But if I start canvassing and I think that the rents are one thing, maybe I think they're $30, and I find out after canvassing 2 or 3 shopping centers that the rents are $20 and my rents are $32, I absolutely, pack up and leave that market and stop canvassing there because I'm barking up the wrong tree. So go where you're going to not have to overcome an obstacle about no visibility because the prospect already is living with no visibility or already is living with no parking. So that's one of my philosophies when I'm dealing with obstacles. I remove the obstacles. I go to visit prospects that are already used to that condition. I hope this helped. If you like this podcast, please share it, like it, give me a comment, DM me, let me know about if you have any questions about something you're dealing with as you start to build your portfolio of shopping centers. And have a great week.